If you grew your organization and had a reputation for growing your team and educating it and being a learning organization, that it would be a competitive advantage for your company. Everybody raises their hand. Then I ask the question is, how many of you believe that if your organization were a learning organization and had a reputation for that, that you could actually attract talent, more talent? Everybody raises their hand. And then the third question is around, okay, if you grew your team and had a reputation for growing your team, do you believe that you could retain talent and do that effectively? And everybody says yes. I then ask the question of, how many of you personally have a learning, development, and growth plan? And all the hands come down. So, well, if you don't have a learning development plan for yourself, then what would lead you to believe that you could do that in your own organization? Our work here really now is around how can you give companies the true competitive advantage of growing your team and growing your people, and do that in the most effective possible way. That's really what learning communities are all about. I had the opportunity to work with Lee Thayer, and he put up on the board of the very first class, and the very first time that we started to talk, he put up the phrase, learning leads to growth, leads to life. And I can't ever remember at a time in my life when a phrase or a series of words resonated so profoundly with me, because it was like a blinding flash of the obvious, is that if you're not learning and you're not growing, you're not really living. It doesn't matter whatever kind of class, whatever kind of organization, whatever kind of thing you do, if you put people in learning groups, learning communities if you will, we know for sure that the learning goes up, the stickiness goes up, the completion ratios go up. The other thing that I learned, which again was just like a blinding flash of the obvious, but we didn't really act on. If you ask for the learning community to also have a common or shared output of the group, then it takes it up even another notch. So it's not only I'm going to work in this class with you and I'll get a better grade, and we all care about the better grades that we get. If you can ask the group also to put out a common or shared output, now you've ratcheted up and extracted the best learning as you can out of the learning community. Well, if you think about it, that's really the question of almost every business organization, of any organization, but it's kind of the question of how do you optimize individuals in the context of the interdependency or the shared purpose. Learning communities are basically the way that you